Good morning, friends. I'm going to share today's science lesson with you, and today we will be talking about seasons and daylight patterns. So we have 4 seasons that happen every year, and we see that each season brings different amounts of daylight, and this happens every year, so it's a pattern. It's something that we can expect. And today we're going to learn about why this happens, what are seasons, why are there seasons, and what are the patterns that happen. So today's objective, students will be able to recognize patterns of daylight through the seasons, and this goes along with standard 1-ESS1-2. So what are seasons? I know we've talked about this before, but just to remind you that each year we have 4 seasons, and they are winter, spring, summer, and fall. Each season has a certain type of weather. For example, our summer in California is so hot. We have to turn all of our fans on, and air conditioning, wear shorts. So this is a type of behavior and weather that we can expect every year during summer. And our seasons happen in certain months. Again, this is something that we see every year, so it's a pattern. Spring is from March, April, and May. Summer is in the months of June, July, and August. Fall is September, October, November. And winter is December, January, February. So we experience these seasons in these months every year. And again, like I said, there's patterns of when these seasons happen. There's also patterns that we see throughout each season with the amount of daylight and what kind of weather it is. So winter, there's less sunlight, and that leads to rain or snow in some places. Spring, it's starting to get a little bit more daylight. There is still rain, and this rain brings new life to our planet. We see trees have greener leaves, our flowers are blooming, and that goes along with the season and with the weather. So summer has the most daylight, and that makes it really hot, and we see more people and animals go outside during this time. And then fall, where it's starting to get less sun, and especially as it transitions to the winter. And during fall, we may experience rain, and then our leaves on our trees, they change color, and sometimes they fall down. Now again, these are all patterns that we see in our weather throughout each season every year. Now we know what seasons are, we're going to talk about why are there seasons. And I have a video to show you on the next slide that will explain to us why we have seasons every year. Now this video I found on YouTube. It's from a company called SciShow Kids, and they have a channel where they go over different science topics and make cool videos for kids to learn from. So I really recommend looking at SciShow Kids, all the videos that they offer to help you learn more about science around us. So I will play this video, and I want you guys to watch it with me.
Spring is here! Now, instead of building snow forts and licking icicles, we can skateboard and ride our bikes, and we don't have to worry about squeaks getting rusty in the snow. Speaking of seasons, you know we have 4 of them: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But do you know why we have more than one season? Well, we have seasons because the Earth is tilted. Instead of standing straight up and down, it leans a little bit. Whoa, how'd that happen? A really, really long time ago, billions of years ago, scientists think something big hit the Earth. The impact was so strong that it knocked our planet over a little bit. So now Earth is tilted. And our tilted planet travels around the sun, completing one full trip all the way around every year. I mean, that's what a year is, the time it takes for the Earth to go around the sun once. And depending on where the Earth is in its journey around the sun, our exposure to sunlight changes. That means the seasons change. That's why we have 4 seasons in one year. Sometimes during the year, part of the Earth tilts toward the sun. Sometimes it tilts away from the sun. When the part of the planet you're on is tilted toward the sun, it's, you guessed it, summer. When it's tilted away from the sun, it's, winter. And when it's in between, well, the weather's pretty much in between too. That's when we have spring and autumn. They're both a little bit warm and a little bit cool and often windy. But if the season also depends on where on Earth you happen to live, that means that not everyone experiences the same season at the same time. It can be summer in some parts of the world when it's winter in others, because those different parts of the planet are getting different amounts of sunlight. When the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, it is summertime. The southern hemisphere is tilted away, so it's wintertime there. So the tiltiness of our planet explains a lot. It's why we have seasons and why it's not always winter or always summer all of the time. And it also helps us understand why different parts of the world can experience different seasons at the same time. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your season, whatever it happens to be. See you next time.
So that was our video about why there are seasons. And just to recap, we have seasons because our Earth is on a tilt and it rotates around the sun during a year. So the seasons come with a tilt. And of course, when a season happens depends on which hemisphere is being pointed towards the sun. So we have our northern hemisphere up here, and we have our southern hemisphere down here. During the summer, when our hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, we have longer days and we have more sunlight. During winter, our hemisphere tilts away from the sun, so we have less sunlight and we have shorter days. Now, during spring and fall, the Earth is kind of in the process of changing its tilt, so it's more straight with the sun. So the daytime and the nighttime hours are about equal during these months. And the weather is not super cold or super hot. We're kind of in the middle during spring and fall. So we have day and night time closer to equal, and there's no tilt at the axis. And we have seasons and patterns. So Earth's rotation on its tilt, it's predictable and consistent. So like I said, this happens every year, and we know when the Earth will be tilted differently each year. So this creates a pattern so that we have our seasons at the same time every year. It's like a cycle. So we have spring, we have summer, we have autumn or fall every year, and it keeps repeating. So it creates that pattern that I've been talking about today. And now that we've learned why we have seasons, what are seasons, I have an activity for you. So the first thing I would like for you to do is fold a paper into 4 squares. And you're going to label each square with a season. So the name of a season. I have an example of what this looks like on my next slide. So you can always look at it while you are doing your activity. Now you're going to write or draw something that you might do or wear during that season. For example, if I was talking about fall, I like to go to the pumpkin patch with my friends and my family. And I know that during the fall, I tend to wear more jackets. So I would draw myself at a pumpkin patch wearing a jacket for the season of fall. And I would like for you to label which season has the most daylight and the least daylight. And if you're not sure, you can go back in my video or you can rewatch the SciShow Kids video because you will find the answers there. So here's my example of what your activity should look like. This is my version of what you're doing. I have my paper folded or divided into 4 squares. I labeled the seasons, so I have spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I didn't draw these pictures, I found them online. But if you look, you can see that each person is doing a different activity throughout the season, and they're wearing clothes that match the season. So in spring, we see people planting a tree, and then in winter, we see people building a snowman. And you can tell what season they're in based on what they are wearing. And you want to make sure when you're doing this activity that it's true. So, for example, if you're doing summer, you don't want to draw someone building a snowman in summer because that's not what we do when we're in summer. We like to eat ice cream, we go to the beach. So make sure everything that you're doing is true, things that you do and that you wear for every season. And after you're done doing this activity, I would like for you to take a picture of it and submit it onto your portfolio page. You will find it with today's date and the science topic, which is about seasons and patterns of daylight. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can send me a message on Class Dojo and I will be happy to help. Hope you guys have a great day.